I want to think about three principles that cause us to shift between cooperation and competition. They transform us from friends to foes and back again. So we think about the interplay of these three principles. The first principle is scarcity. The resources in our environment can either be scarce or plentiful, and that's what drives us from friend to foe. We think about scarcity, and this is exactly what happened in Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving, with this feast, we have abundant resources, and we're celebrating a cooperative event. But then we go out into the marketplace, and these scarce deals cause us to compete fiercely for these scarce resources of low-priced TVs and other things. Now, we see scarcity not just in humans shifting us between cooperation and competition, but in studies of animals, we see the same thing. A study of Grevy zebras found that the zebras actually behave differently as a function of how much water was available in their environment. When water was abundant, they formed one type of collectives, and when water was scarce, they formed a very different kind of collective. That is, their social relationships shifted dramatically as a function of how scarce this very precious water resource was. Now, the second principle is how social we are. We're inherently social beings. We crave companionship. In fact, one of the worst forms of punishment is solitary confinement. After just a few days, the human mind begins to decay in solitary confinement. People experience hallucinations, spasms of anger, malaise, and apathy. We both crave human contact after being in solitary confinement, and we're also unfit for it. The human mind needs to be socially connected. The third principle is dynamic instability. The world around us is stochastic, it changes, it's unstable. Just like the stock market, things are shifting all around us, and we need to quickly change and pivot between cooperation and competition. So this unstable and dynamic world, as we learn new information, we try to gather new information, it causes us to both cooperate and compete. And it's really the interplay between these three principles: scarcity, the sociability, and dynamic instability that cause us to pivot back and forth between cooperation and competition. And sometimes we're engaging in both at the same time, and we need to find our balance as both competitors and collaborators.